Before you close your eyes, take one moment to say this with me. Jesus, I want to end my day in your presence. If this prayer touches your heart, leave a comment saying, I talked to Jesus before sleeping. That way, this moment becomes a testimony, not just a routine. Now breathe deeply and allow your soul to open up. Jesus, I recognize that you are here with me right now. This isn't just another night. It's a sacred moment, a space of stillness where my soul finally stops running and returns to you. All day long, my attention was pulled in many directions, so many responsibilities, voices, expectations, and yet none of them filled me. But the moment I turned my heart to you, I felt something shift. Because being with you isn't about doing more, it's about being real. I don't come with the perfect words, I come with sincerity. I don't have to impress you, I just need to be with you. So I enter this conversation not out of routine, but out of need. I need you to quiet my inner world. I need you to remind me that I'm not alone. And I need you to hold my heart as I prepare to rest. There are things I said today that I regret, thoughts I had that I wish I hadn't, moments I wish I could rewind, but I can't. That's why I'm here now. Not to fix the past, but to surrender it to you. Jesus, I recognize your presence tonight. You didn't wait for me to be perfect. You waited for me to be present. And now that I'm here, I feel peace starting to return. This is where I want to be, at your feet, with nothing to prove. Tonight I won't pretend. Tonight I'll be honest. And that honesty begins with this simple whisper. Jesus, I'm here. Jesus, I need to talk to you. Not with long speeches or rehearsed prayers, but with the raw honesty of someone who's been carrying too much. Because if I don't talk to you now, I know I'll lay in bed with my mind racing, with words trapped inside me, echoing in silence. There's so much I didn't say today. So many emotions I pushed down just to get through the day. Smiles I gave when I really wanted to cry. Conversations where I said I'm fine when I was anything but. But with you, I don't want to fake it. I don't want to fall asleep with a knot in my chest and a prayer left unsaid. So I come to talk. Just me and you. Maybe I won't find perfect words. Maybe it'll come out as sighs or silence, but I know you hear even what I struggle to express. I need to tell you about the frustration I felt earlier, the disappointment that's still lingering, the fear I didn't show, the need I tried to hide. I need to tell you that I feel tired, not just physically but deep inside, that I've been strong for too long and now I just want to rest in you. I need to admit that sometimes I feel lost, like I'm doing my best but it's not enough. But here's the beauty of talking to you. You don't judge my process. You don't rush my healing. You sit with me, listen to me and hold me. And even if I cry or pause or say the same thing more than once, you still stay, you still listen. Because you care more about my heart than my eloquence. So here I am, Jesus, not hiding, not overthinking, just talking. Because talking to you is the only way I truly exhale. Thank you for being near. Thank you for giving me this space to be seen, to be heard, and to be comforted before I sleep. Jesus, I'm tired. But it's not the kind of tired that sleep can fix. It's deeper than that. It's the kind of exhaustion that settles into the soul, where even when the body stops, the heart keeps aching. I smiled today, but inside I was worn out. I got through the day, but I felt like I was running on empty. And now that everything is quiet, I can finally admit it. I'm not okay. I'm carrying too much, and it's heavy. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm tired of. It's just this weight, this invisible pressure to keep going, to keep performing, to keep showing up, even when all I want is to pause and breathe. The truth is, I need more than rest. I need healing. I need to be restored, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Because this heaviness inside me is stealing my peace. I'm tired of pretending to be strong, tired of acting like I'm not affected, tired of bottling up everything just to seem put together. So tonight I lay it all down before you, my hidden sadness, my quiet discouragement, my fears that no one knows about. You see it all, don't you? You see the tears I hold back. You feel the weariness I try to ignore. You know the thoughts that swirl in my mind when the world goes silent. Jesus, I don't just want to sleep. I want to be renewed. I want to feel light again, free again, hopeful again. Wrap me in your presence tonight. Let your peace pour over my soul like rain. Let your love do what my strength no longer can. Because when I'm too tired to fight, I need you to fight for me. Carry me tonight, Lord. Hold the parts of me that feel too weak to stand, and remind me that I don't have to face this exhaustion alone. You are my rest. You are my peace. You are my safe place. So here I am with my soul exposed, asking for the kind of rest that only you can give. Jesus, with you I can finally stop pretending. All day long I've worn different masks. I've said the right things, smiled at the right times, acted like everything was fine, even when it wasn't. Because that's what the world expects, right? To hold it all together, to stay strong, to hide the mess. But now that I'm here, in this quiet moment with you, I can breathe. I can let my guard down. Because you don't love a version of me that performs, you love the real me. The one who struggles, the one who gets it wrong, the one who tries and fails, and tries again. You're not asking for perfection, you're asking for honesty, and that I can give. Tonight I choose to stop editing myself in your presence. I won't hold back the tears, I won't filter my words, I won't pretend to be strong if I'm not. Because you already know everything, and yet you still want to be close. There's something so healing about being real with you, about saying, I'm hurt, and knowing you won't turn away. About confessing my fears and feeling your embrace. About telling you what I can't tell anyone else, and hearing nothing but love in return. You are the safest place I know. And in this space, where I don't have to perform, I find freedom. I find peace. I find the kind of connection that the world can't give me. So tonight I take off every mask. I lay down every defense. I choose vulnerability, not because I'm weak, but because I trust you. You are my refuge, my friend, my healer. And most of all, you are the one who sees me completely and still says, I'm here. Thank you for never making me feel like I have to hide. Thank you for loving the unfiltered, unedited version of me. Because that's the one who truly needs you. If your mind also starts racing the moment your head touches the pillow, type in the comments, Jesus, calm my thoughts tonight. Let this be more than just a video. Let it be the beginning of your peace. Jesus, why is it that when everything goes quiet, my mind gets louder? All day long I was distracted, busy, occupied, moving from one task to the next. But now, when I finally lie down to rest, every thought I tried to ignore suddenly starts shouting. I replay conversations. I think about what I should have done differently. I worry about tomorrow, about things I can't control. I feel emotions I pushed away all day. Fear, regret, pressure, sadness. My body is tired, but my mind is still spinning. And I'm tired of this cycle. tired of pretending I can control it. Because the truth is, I can't make my thoughts stop on my own. So I come to you, not just to talk, but to be calmed, to ask you to do what I can't, silence the noise in my head and bring peace to my restless heart. Jesus, I give you every thought, the ones that scare me, the ones that accuse me, the ones that leave me doubting myself and doubting the future. Take them, every single one, and replace them with truth. Remind me that I am safe in your hands. Remind me that I don't have to solve everything tonight. Remind me that you are still working even while I sleep. Let your voice be louder than the chaos. Let your promises echo in my mind instead of my fears. I declare that this night belongs to you, not to anxiety, not to overthinking, but to you, the Prince of Peace. Let my pillow be a place of surrender. Let my bed be a sanctuary. Let my heart slow down and my mind quiet down. Because you are here. I know the thoughts may try to return, but now I have a weapon, your presence, your word, and the assurance that even when my thoughts try to spiral, you anchor me. So tonight, Jesus, take over my mind and let peace win. Jesus, there are fears inside me that I don't even like to name. They hide beneath my routines, my responsibilities, my distractions. But when everything quiets down, they rise to the surface. I try to be strong. I try to have faith. But sometimes, I'm just scared. Scared of not being enough. Scared of being forgotten. Scared of losing something or someone I love. Scared of failure, scared of the unknown, scared of things I can't explain but that still shake me to the core. These aren't just passing worries. These are the fears that make me feel small. The ones that whisper lies in the dark. The ones that paralyze me when I try to move forward. The ones that no one else sees, but you do. And tonight, I won't hold them in anymore. I place them in your hands, every single one. I'm tired of carrying fear like a secret, tired of pretending that I'm not affected, tired of acting like I have it all under control, when inside I feel helpless. But I'm learning something. Giving you my fears isn't weakness, it's worship. It's admitting that I can't fix everything, but I know the one who can. It's recognizing that I need you, not just when things fall apart, but before they even begin to. So I surrender my fear of failure, my fear of rejection, my fear of what tomorrow holds, my fear of being alone, my fear of not being enough. Take them, Jesus. Cover them with your love. Silence them with your truth. You promised to be my refuge. You said, "Do not fear, for I am with you." So tonight I choose to believe you more than the voices of fear. Let your presence be bigger than the shadows in my mind. Let your peace quiet the panic. Let your light push back every darkness trying to invade my soul. I might still feel small, but I'm held by someone bigger. So even if I tremble, I will trust. Even if I don't feel brave, I will still come to you, because you are my safe place. Tonight, Jesus, I give you my deepest fears, and I rest in the safety of your love. Jesus, I made mistakes today. Some were small, unnoticed by others, maybe even forgotten by now, but others, they left a mark. Words I shouldn't have said, thoughts I shouldn't have entertained, attitudes I let take over when I should have paused and prayed. I know you saw it all. Every impatient response, every moment I gave in to frustration, pride, or fear, every time I chose self over surrender. And yet here I am, still welcomed into your presence, still invited to speak, still loved. That alone humbles me, because I know I don't deserve your kindness. But you offer it anyway, not because I got everything right, but because you are merciful even when I fall. So tonight I won't hide behind excuses. I won't blame the stress or the circumstances. I'll just come with honesty and a heart that says, Jesus, I'm sorry, I need your mercy. You know my heart better than I do. You know the weight of regret I carry. You know the things I wish I could go back and change. But instead of replaying my failures, I choose to lay them at your feet, because when I hold on to shame, it only grows. But when I give it to you, you exchange it for grace. You don't shame me. You restore me. You don't push me away. You pull me close and remind me that mercy was always meant for nights like this. Nights when I feel unworthy. Nights when I feel the sting of my own words or silence. Nights when I know I need forgiveness more than sleep. So wash over me now, Jesus, not just to make me feel better, but to make me new. Let this night be a reset. Let your mercy cover this day. Let your grace rewrite the story I told myself, the one where I failed again. Because in your story, failure isn't the end. It's the place where mercy begins. Thank you for still wanting me. Thank you for the cross that makes nights like this redemptive. I won't sleep clinging to guilt. I'll sleep holding on to grace. Jesus, thank you for not giving up on me. There were moments, not just today, but in so many seasons of my life, when I drifted. Not always intentionally, sometimes just slowly, quietly, until I realized I had wandered farther than I ever meant to. There were days when I let distraction steal my attention. Days when I chose comfort over conviction. Moments when I didn't make space for you, even though you were still there, waiting. And yet, you never walked away. Not once. You stayed. When I forgot to pray, you were still listening. When I doubted, you still believed in what you placed inside me. When I hesitated to come back, you had already left the door wide open. You didn't shame me for the distance. You closed the gap with love. Your faithfulness is the kind that humbles me, because I know how inconsistent I've been. One day full of fire, the next distracted and numb. One moment declaring trust, the next questioning everything. But you've never changed, never flinched, never stopped being who you are, faithful, steady, present. And that kind of love, it breaks down every wall inside of me, because I realize I don't have to earn it. I just have to receive it. You love me at my best and at my worst. You remain near when I'm cold, distant, confused, or even rebellious. And tonight, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for not loving me conditionally. Thank you for staying when I wandered. Thank you for calling me back with tenderness instead of anger. I know what it feels like to give up on myself, but I also know what it feels like to be pursued by grace. And right now, as I reflect on your faithfulness, I feel that grace again, gently wrapping around me, reminding me that I am still yours. Let this night be a turning point, not because I have it all figured out, but because I've remembered who you are, the God who stays, the shepherd who finds the lost sheep, the friend who never walks away. Thank you, Jesus, for staying, even when I didn't. Jesus, I don't want this night to be just another routine, not just a moment to collapse in bed after a long day, not just the closing scene of a busy script. I want this night to be sacred, a moment set apart, a quiet space where my soul meets yours, where I'm not just ending the day, I'm entering your presence, because sleep isn't just about resting my body, it's about resetting my spirit, and the only way to truly do that is by encountering you. I don't want to go to bed just thinking about what I did or didn't get done. I don't want my last thoughts to be stress, regret, or fear. I want you to be my final thought tonight, my final whisper, my final peace. So I pause right now to acknowledge that this isn't just a moment of reflection, it's an invitation. You're here, you're listening, and you're longing for connection, not just confession. Sometimes I've treated you like a box to check, a line in my schedule, a habit to maintain. But tonight, I remember what this really is, a relationship, a sacred one where I bring my whole heart, not just my needs, one where I don't have to perform, impress, or explain, one where you meet me with grace and surround me with peace. Let this be holy ground, this room, this hour, this breath. Transform this ordinary night into something eternal. Let your spirit fill the space around me. Let my bed become an altar. Let my silence become worship. I want to remember this night as more than the end of a long day. I want to remember it as a time when I truly encountered you, not in lightning or thunder, but in stillness, in the soft whisper that says, I'm here, I never left, and I always will be. Jesus, tonight I don't need noise or signs, I just need you. And that alone makes this night sacred. If you're facing questions with no answers, write in the comments. Jesus, I choose to trust you tonight. Your trust is a seed, and God never ignores what's planted in faith. Jesus, there's so much I don't understand. Why certain doors closed, why some prayers still feel unanswered, why pain shows up in places I thought were healed, why the waiting seems endless, and the silence even louder. Sometimes I try to make sense of it all. I search for signs, explanations, clarity, but all I find is more confusion. And in those moments my faith wavers, because deep down I just want to know that it's all going somewhere, that the struggle isn't pointless, that the waiting has purpose, that you're doing something, even if I can't see it. But tonight, I lay down the need to understand. I trade my questions for trust, not because I have all the answers, but because I believe you do. You've proven before that you are faithful. You've answered me in ways I didn't expect. You've used broken seasons to build something beautiful. So tonight, I don't need a blueprint. I need your presence. I choose to believe that you're working behind the scenes, that you're putting the pieces together, that your not yet isn't a no. It's a divine pause filled with intention. I surrender the whys. I release the timelines I created in my head. I let go of the pressure to figure everything out before I can sleep in peace. Because peace doesn't come from having answers. It comes from knowing I'm held, and I am. You are still in control. You are still writing my story, and no part of it is wasted. Tonight, I declare with trembling faith, even when I don't understand, I trust you. Even when nothing makes sense, I believe you're still good. I trust that you see the bigger picture. I trust that you care more deeply than I can imagine. I trust that my unanswered questions are still held in your perfect hands. So I won't go to bed with fear in my chest. I'll go to bed with faith in my heart, because you are worthy of my trust, even in the mystery. Jesus, tonight I place not only my life in your hands, but also the lives of those I love the most. Watch over my family. Each one is facing their own battles, some that I know, and others they keep hidden behind quiet eyes and tired smiles. But you see it all. You know every unspoken worry, every weight on their hearts, every silent prayer they whispered when no one else was around. So I ask you, cover them. Cover their rooms with peace. Cover their minds with truth. Cover their hearts with comfort that only you can give. Let no fear, no darkness, no harm come near them tonight. Whether they're near me or far away, I trust that your presence can reach every corner of the earth. Your wings are wide enough. Your love is deep enough. Your power is strong enough to protect them, even in their sleep. If any of them are restless tonight, calm them. If any of them are anxious, whisper peace into their soul. If any of them are hurting, let healing flow as they close their eyes. I ask that you would send angels to stand guard at their doors, over their dreams, around their beds. Make their sleep restful. Make their hearts feel safe. Let them know, even subconsciously, that they are not alone. And Jesus, beyond the physical safety, I ask for something deeper: spiritual protection. Guard their faith, protect their joy, shield their identity from lies and confusion. Be their covering, not just tonight, but every night. You've been faithful to my family even when we didn't notice. You've spared us from things we never even knew were close. So tonight, once again, I place them in your care. I release every fear about their future. I release control, because you love them more than I ever could. And your love is perfect. Wrap your arms around each of them. Let them sleep in peace. Let them wake in grace. And let this night be a reminder that they are always under your wings. Jesus. Tonight I don't feel strong. I don't feel composed. I don't feel like I have it all together. I feel fragile. Not just tired, but emotionally worn thin. Like I've been carrying too much for too long, and now even the smallest thing feels heavy. It's not easy to admit this. Sometimes I tell myself I need to be tougher, that I should be past this, that I shouldn't still feel this way, but here I am, raw, exposed, vulnerable, and needing you more than ever. There are days when I can carry others, speak faith, hold it all together. But tonight isn't one of those days. Tonight I just need to be held, not externally, but from within. In that invisible place where the world can't reach, where only you have access. The space where my soul quietly trembles and where even words feel too weak. Jesus, hold me there. I need you to steady what feels shaky inside me, to speak truth where emotions are loud and confusing, to remind me that feeling fragile doesn't make me faithless, it makes me human. And being human is exactly why you came close. You didn't come for the strong who have no need. You came for the broken-hearted, for the ones who feel like they're falling apart, for the ones who weep behind closed doors and smile in public. So I lean into that tonight. I stop fighting the waves and let you carry me. I stop pretending I'm unshaken and let you see the cracks. Because you're not disappointed in my fragility. You meet me in it. You wrap yourself around my weakness, and you remind me that your strength is made perfect right here, in my need. Jesus, I don't need a quick fix. I just need to feel you holding me. Quietly, gently, faithfully. Until the storm inside fades, until the tears make room for rest, until the weight lifts, not because I pushed harder, but because I leaned deeper into you. Hold me from within. Hold my thoughts, my emotions, my heart, and let me fall asleep knowing that I am not alone in this fragile place. I am surrounded by love. Jesus. Today left a few bruises that no one else noticed. Moments that may have seemed small to others, but to me they cut deep. There were words that hit the wrong place, disappointments I didn't see coming, expectations I couldn't meet, and emotions I tried to bury because there wasn't time or space to feel them fully. But now, in the quiet of this night, they resurface. The sting, the ache, the silent heaviness that hides beneath a composed exterior. I didn't cry in front of anyone. I kept going, I kept smiling, but something in me cracked. And now, all I want is for you to touch that place, heal what was broken today. The fragile parts of my heart that got chipped away by careless words, by stress I didn't voice, by feelings I pushed aside because I thought they didn't matter. You saw it all, you always do. Even when no one else noticed, you did. Even when I didn't stop long enough to acknowledge the pain, you already knew. That's why I love you so deeply, because you don't just heal the obvious wounds. You reach into the hidden places, you tend to the invisible cuts. You minister to the quiet aches that I can't even explain. So I bring them to you now, not with eloquence but with honesty. The disappointment that weighed me down, the frustration I took out on others, the insecurity that whispered lies in my head, the weariness that made me question my worth. Jesus, meet me there, in the places that hurt silently, in the spaces where I smiled while bleeding, in the hours I told myself, just push through. I don't want to sleep with that pain unspoken. I don't want to wake up tomorrow carrying today's wounds. Touch me, Lord. Restore my soul. Speak peace over what felt chaotic. And let your presence be the balm that heals what no one else could reach. You are the great healer, not just of bodies but of hearts. So I trust you to do what only you can do. Take what broke today and make it whole again tonight. Jesus, I need a peace that isn't shaken by what's happening around me, because the kind of peace the world offers is so fragile. It changes with the news, with the mood of others, with a message I wasn't expecting or a problem I thought I had already solved. But the peace I need tonight is the one that comes only from you. That deep, unwavering peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that doesn't need explanations. The kind that settles into the soul like a still river, even when everything outside feels like a storm. My circumstances haven't changed much. There are still uncertainties waiting for me tomorrow. There are still unresolved things, still open questions, still responsibilities weighing on my shoulders. But if you fill me tonight, truly fill me, then all of that can wait outside my heart, because I don't need everything around me to be calm if you calm everything within me. Let your peace replace the tension I've carried in my chest. Let it melt the knots in my stomach. Let it silence the what-ifs and the not-yets and the how-longs. Let it anchor me so deeply that I can sleep, not just because I'm tired, but because I know I'm held. This is the kind of peace I've seen in others, the ones who walk through fire without burning, who lose and still worship, who grieve but still trust. I've always admired that kind of faith, but now I realize it wasn't about their strength, it was about your peace. So give me that peace, Jesus, not just for tonight, but starting tonight. Let it guard my heart and my mind. Let it be the quiet voice that reminds me, you are not alone. I am with you. I am in control. I may not know what tomorrow brings, but I know who holds me tonight. That's enough, more than enough. So, Prince of Peace, breathe over me now. Fill every room of my soul, and let me rest in the calm that only you can create. If you're ready to let go and trust Jesus with what's too heavy for you, write in the comments, I release control to you tonight, Jesus. Let this declaration be the moment where your burden becomes His. Jesus, I've been holding on too tightly, gripping things that were never mine to carry, trying to fix what only you can restore, trying to manage what only you can sustain. I didn't mean to take control. I think I just got tired of waiting, or scared of what might happen if I didn't act. So I planned, I pushed, I worried. I tried to predict outcomes and prevent pain. But in doing all that, I've only exhausted myself. The truth is, I'm not strong enough to carry everything, and you never asked me to. So tonight, I let go. I let go of the pressure to be perfect. I let go of the need to have all the answers. I let go of the weight of trying to hold everyone together. I let go of the fear of what might happen if I'm not in control, because you are. You always were, and you always will be. You see the full picture. You know the hidden details, the future outcomes, the hearts of people I'm trying to fix. You know what I don't, and you're not overwhelmed. So I place it all in your hands. The relationships I'm trying to hold together, the problems I'm trying to solve, the timelines I keep checking, the anxiety I keep feeding. Take it all. Not because I'm giving up, but because I'm giving it over. There's a difference. One comes from defeat, the other from trust. And I trust you, Jesus. I trust that your way is better, that your timing is wiser, that your strength can do what my striving never could. Let this surrender bring peace. Let it make space for rest. Let it remind me that I'm not alone, not in control, and not failing. I'm simply letting God be God. Tonight I release control, and I place everything and everyone into your capable, loving hands. Jesus. Sometimes I think prayer ends when I stop talking. But tonight, I want to believe something deeper. That even in silence, you are still speaking. There's something sacred about the quiet moments when my mind begins to slow down, when words fade and only breath remains. That's where I want to meet you now. Not with more requests, not with long explanations, but with stillness and expectation. Speak to my heart in the silence. Let the quiet carry your presence. Let the stillness become a sanctuary. Let this night be more than sleep. Let it be a continuation of our conversation, a time when my soul leans into you without needing to say a word. Because you don't only speak through noise and movement. You speak in the hush, in the pause, in the gentle weight of your peace settling over me like a warm blanket. Tonight I want to listen, not with my ears but with my heart. Maybe you'll whisper comfort where I've been discouraged. Maybe you'll breathe hope into dreams I had given up. Maybe you'll simply rest with me. No words, just presence. And somehow that will say more than 1,000 sermons. I invite you into my rest, into the hours when my eyes are closed, but my spirit is still awake. Let this be more than sleep. Let it be intimacy. Let it be healing. Let it be communion. If there's something you want to show me, I'm open. If there's something you want to heal, I surrender. If there's something you want to shift in me as I sleep, I give you permission. Because even in the night, you are near. You do not grow tired. You do not sleep. And while I rest, you continue to work in places I can't reach. So tonight, Jesus, let the silence be filled with you. Let my spirit stay connected, even as my body rests. Let sleep become sacred, a space where heaven brushes against earth. And when I wake, let me remember that I was never alone, not even in my dreams. Jesus, I know you are always near, but tonight I need more than knowledge. I need experience. I don't want to just believe that you are close. I want to feel it. Not as a thought, not as a theology, but as a real living presence right here with me, in this room, in this breath, in this moment. Because sometimes life feels too loud, too distant, too overwhelming. And in the middle of all that, my heart begins to wonder, where are you? But deep down, I know you haven't gone anywhere. I just haven't slowed down long enough to notice. So now, in the stillness of this night, I pause. I open the door again. I open my heart, not to more information, but to connection. Jesus, come near. Let your presence settle like warm light in the dark corners of my soul. Let the air around me shift, as if heaven is leaning in. Let me feel you, not just emotionally, but spiritually, tangibly, completely. I don't need a sign. I don't need a dramatic moment, just a touch, just a whisper, just the holy awareness that you are here. Let my skin tingle with the sense of peace I can't explain. Let my spirit relax, as if it recognizes a familiar embrace. Let my heart be still because it knows. You are here. You are not a memory. You are not a symbol. You are not a distant hope. You are a person, a savior, a friend. And you walk with me, even when I forget to look. So let me feel you tonight. In the weight of your presence that fills this room, in the comfort that washes over my mind, in the quiet confidence that I'm not facing anything alone. Jesus, be near, be real, be close, not just for a moment, but for the whole night. Let your nearness be my peace. Let it be my rest. Let it be my reminder that you are not just someone I pray to. You are someone I live with. And tonight, I feel you again. Jesus. Sometimes I forget how much is happening beyond what I can see. I get so focused on the visible, the situations in front of me, the people around me, the circumstances I'm trying to manage, that I lose sight of the battles being fought in the spiritual realm. But deep inside, I know there are things I've been protected from without even knowing. Attacks that never reached me, storms that were calmed before they arrived, dangers that were redirected because you stepped in, silently, powerfully, faithfully. There are battles I will never fully understand, the ones that don't make headlines in my life, but that mattered just as much. So tonight, I pause to say, thank you for fighting for me, even when I didn't see it, even when I didn't ask, even when I was too distracted or discouraged to notice. I know there are spiritual forces at work, real enemies that try to steal peace, joy, purpose, identity. But I also know this: you've already won. You won the greatest battle the day you gave everything for me. And that victory still echoes through every night I feel afraid, every moment I feel surrounded, every situation that feels too big for me to handle. Because no matter what comes against me, nothing is stronger than the one who stands before me, beside me, and within me. So I declare this truth over my heart tonight. I am not defenseless. I am not vulnerable. I am not exposed. I am covered. I am protected. I am guarded by the victory you already secured. The enemy doesn't get the final say. Fear doesn't get to rule this night. Doubt doesn't get to dictate my peace, because you, Jesus, have already gone before me. You've already won. And now, I get to rest not because the war is over, but because the outcome is already decided. Let this truth calm my mind. Let it anchor my heart. Let it carry me into peaceful sleep, knowing I am safe because you are victorious. Jesus. Today felt like a blur, a mix of emotions, moments, and decisions that I'm still trying to process. Some things made me smile, others left me confused, and a few simply hurt. I tried to make sense of it, to find the lesson, the pattern, the meaning behind what happened. But some things just didn't add up. Some moments left me wondering, why this? Why now? What does it mean? And now, as the day comes to a close, I feel the weight of everything that's still unresolved. But I've learned something with you, Lord. I don't have to understand everything in order to surrender it. I don't have to make sense of today before placing it in your hands. So that's what I'm doing now. I take this day, all of it, and lay it before you. The words I spoke that I'm second-guessing, the decisions I made that I hope were right, the conversations that felt incomplete, the disappointments I didn't expect, the victories I'd barely noticed in the rush. Every detail, every moment, every emotion, I give it to you. Because I don't want to go to sleep holding onto fragments of confusion. I don't want to carry the pressure of trying to figure it all out on my own. I want to rest. And I can't rest if I'm still trying to rewrite the script of today in my mind. So I let go. Not carelessly, but confidently, because I know who I'm surrendering it to. You're not just watching from a distance. You were with me every second. And you know how to take what didn't make sense and use it for something sacred. Maybe tomorrow you'll bring clarity. Maybe you won't. But either way, I trust that you're already working with the pieces I gave you. So tonight I won't overthink. I won't replay it again and again. I'll simply say, Jesus, take today. It's yours now. And I'll let that be enough. Because when I surrender the day, I make room for peace. And when I trust you with the mess, you always respond with mercy. Thank you for receiving every detail, even the ones I don't have words for. Now I can rest, knowing I've left nothing behind. If anxiety has been louder than peace lately, write in the comments. Tonight I lay my head on God's promises. Let this be your declaration. That rest is possible when His Word becomes your foundation. Jesus. Some nights it's not the noise outside that keeps me awake, it's the noise within. Thoughts that race, fears that whisper, worries that repeat like a broken record. I try to shut them down, but they only grow louder in the dark. I don't want to fall asleep battling my own mind. I don't want anxiety to win again tonight. Because I know this isn't how you designed me to rest, restless in body, overwhelmed in soul. So I come to you honestly, and I ask, silence the anxiety, not just for a moment, but at the root. Touch the places where fear grows unchecked. Speak truth into the spaces where lies have settled. Let your peace push out the panic. I don't need every situation fixed before I sleep. I just need to know that you're in it with me. That I'm not navigating this storm alone. That your promises still stand, even when my thoughts feel shaky. Tonight, Jesus, I choose to lay my head not on fear, but on truth. Let your promises be my pillow. Remind me that you are my shepherd. I shall not want. That you give sleep to those you love, that you are for me, not against me, that you will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on you. I want those words to be more than verses. I want them to be anchors, soft places for my weary soul to lean on. Let your word soothe my nervous system. Let it calm my breath. Let it lower the volume of everything screaming for my attention. Because if you are here, truly here, then I can stop fighting for control and start resting in trust. Jesus, replace the anxiety with assurance. Let the last thing I feel tonight not be fear, but your presence wrapping around me like a warm blanket of peace. And as I drift into sleep, may your promises sing louder than my doubts. Jesus, tonight, I need you to speak something deeper than correction. I need you to speak identity. Because after a long day filled with imperfections, it's easy to forget who I really am. Mistakes try to redefine me. Failures try to rename me. The enemy whispers labels that feel so real. Not enough. Too weak. Unworthy. But deep down, I know that's not who I am, at least not in you. So I bring you everything I got wrong today. The harsh words, the things I left undone, the moments I let fear dictate my choices. And I ask you, don't just forgive me, remind me. Remind me that I am still yours, still chosen, still loved, still being shaped by grace, not shame. Remind me that my worth isn't measured by how well I performed today. It's not based on how productive I was or how perfectly I handled everything. My worth was settled at the cross. You didn't wait for me to get it all right. You called me loved while I was still broken. You gave me identity not based on effort but on who you are and what you declared over me. I am a child of God. I am forgiven. I am covered. I am growing. I am becoming. So when my mind wants to replay the low points of the day, remind me that redemption is part of my story. When I feel like I've failed beyond repair, remind me that you're still working in me, patiently, powerfully, purposefully. You don't define me by my bad days. You define me by your love. So tonight, I reject every lie that says I'm not enough. I release every thought that tries to shame me into silence, and I receive again the truth of who I am in you. Let that truth wash over me like gentle waves. Let it recenter me. Let it cradle me as I rest, because tomorrow is a new day. But tonight I fall asleep knowing exactly who I am. I am yours, Jesus. There are parts of me tonight that feel worn down, not because I gave up, but because I've been holding on for so long. I've been fighting silent battles, pushing through without applause, smiling while my soul was tired, believing while doubt whispered in the background. And now, as the day ends, I can feel the weakness, not just in my body, but in places deeper than anyone sees. There are areas in me that grew tired of trying, tired of hoping, tired of believing for change that hasn't come yet, tired of showing up strong when I feel anything but. So tonight I stop pretending. I stop forcing strength that I don't have. And I come to you not as someone put together, but as someone in need of renewal. Jesus, strengthen what was left weak. Touch the part of me that almost gave up, the faith that's flickering, the passion that's faded, the trust that's trembling. I don't need hype. I don't need someone telling me to just be stronger. I need you to breathe life into the places that feel dry and brittle. Because when you strengthen me, it's not about pushing harder. It's about being restored from the inside out. You said that in my weakness, your power is made perfect. So I bring you the pieces of me that are exhausted. I lay down the pressure to be unshakable, and I ask instead to be sustained. Give me the grace to rest without guilt, to stop striving long enough to receive, to allow healing instead of constantly performing. You know the parts of me that are hanging by a thread, the hidden weariness, the quiet burnout, the effort no one claps for. Meet me there. Let your spirit lift what I can't. Let your joy become my strength again. Let your presence be enough to keep me standing tomorrow. Because I don't just want to survive, I want to walk in peace, in purpose, in quiet confidence that you are my source. So strengthen me, Jesus, in the exact places I feel weakest. And let this night become a turning point where tired faith meets fresh grace and weary hearts rise again. Jesus, there's something I've been carrying in prayer, something I've whispered to you again and again, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with tears, and sometimes with silence because I've run out of words. I'm still waiting for an answer, waiting for clarity, waiting for breakthrough, waiting for you to show me the next step, or to open the door I've been knocking on. And while I trust you, waiting isn't always easy. There are moments when hope feels thin, when the silence feels loud, when doubt tries to convince me that nothing is happening at all. But tonight I choose to believe that silence isn't absence, that delay isn't denial, that even when I see nothing on the surface, you're working in the deep. You are the God who moves in unseen places, in hearts, in timelines, in atmospheres I can't control. And just because I don't see movement doesn't mean you're not moving. So I cling to faith, not the loud kind, but the steady kind, the kind that holds on in the dark, the kind that whispers, Jesus is still listening, Jesus is still working. Jesus has not forgotten. You know the exact moment when the answer will come. You see the bigger picture, the timing, the people involved, the pieces that still need to fall into place. So while I wait, strengthen my trust. Remind me that this in-between isn't wasted, that my prayers are not bouncing off the ceiling, but rising like incense before your throne. Let this waiting season refine me, not break me. Let it draw me closer, not push me away. Let it build endurance, humility, and a deeper dependence on you. And most of all, let it remind me that my faith isn't in outcomes. It's in who you are. You are faithful. You are present. And you are already moving, even if it's behind the scenes. So tonight I rest, not because I have the answer, but because I know the one who does, and that's enough for now. Jesus. I didn't notice it at first, but somewhere along the way, I stopped dreaming, not because I wanted to, but because it hurt too much to keep hoping for things that didn't come. Disappointments added up. Delays felt like denials, and eventually, the dreams I once carried so close to my heart felt too fragile to hold. So I buried them, not out of rebellion, but out of protection. I thought maybe it was safer not to expect too much. Maybe if I stopped imagining better days, I wouldn't feel so crushed when things didn't change. But tonight, I feel you gently stirring something in me. A whisper that says, it's okay to hope again. Jesus, renew my ability to dream. Bring life back to the places inside me that grew numb. Blow fresh wind over the ashes of desires I once held with joy. Show me that hope isn't dangerous, it's holy. Remind me that you are the God who gives dreams, not to torment us, but to partner with us in building something eternal. I know not every dream unfolds the way I expect, but I also know you're not done writing my story. And you're not afraid of big prayers, deep desires, or vulnerable hearts. So awaken in me again the courage to imagine, to believe in things I can't yet see, to hope, not based on my timeline, but based on your goodness, even if I've seen doors close, even if I've heard no or not yet more times than I can count. Let this be the night I believe again, not in fantasy but in faith. You are the God of new beginnings, the restorer of lost years, the one who speaks life where there's been silence. So breathe into me tonight. Resurrect old dreams that still align with your heart. Plant new ones if you wish. Just don't let me settle for survival when you've called me to walk with vision. Let dreaming with you become safe again. Let my heart soften again. Let my soul stretch forward again, because even when hope seemed to vanish, you never did. And now I believe, if you're still with me, then anything is possible. If your heart longs for Jesus to walk with you beyond this night, write in the comments, "Stay with me, Jesus, in every moment." Sometimes one sentence of surrender opens the door to a lifetime of presence. Jesus, please stay. Not just for tonight, not just for this prayer, not just when I feel emotional or vulnerable, but always. Stay with me when I wake up tomorrow. Stay with me in the ordinary moments, the quiet mornings, the crowded afternoons, the restless evenings. Stay with me in the small decisions I barely notice, in the rushed routines, in the emotions I don't always understand, in the laughter, and in the silence. I don't just want a sacred moment in the dark. I want a sacred life. One where you're not just someone I visit, but someone I live with. Because I've done life without you close, and it never worked. I've chased peace through performance. I've looked for comfort in people. I've tried to control outcomes as a way to protect myself. But all of it left me empty. Only you satisfy. Only you remain when everything else shifts. Only you see every corner of who I am and still want to stay. So come into the places I've kept separate, into the corners of my life where I thought you might not want to enter. My fears, my regrets, my inconsistencies, my routine. Be present in my daily thoughts. Be the voice louder than my doubts. Be the friend I turn to before the anxiety settles. Be the presence that walks with me, not just when I feel desperate, but when I'm simply living. Jesus, stay in my relationships, stay in my habits, stay in my inner world, the one I don't show everyone. Stay in my work, in my rest, in my dreams, in my pain. I don't want you to be a visitor. I want you to be home. So I open the doors. I give you access. I make space, not just in this prayer, but in my lifestyle. Because if you stay, then I will never lack peace, purpose, direction, or love. Stay with me, Jesus. Not just tonight, but forever. Jesus. I used to think that rest would come when everything around me calmed down. When the problems were solved, the relationships were fixed, the future felt certain, and my mind finally stopped spinning. But I'm starting to learn something different. That rest isn't found in perfect circumstances. It's found in you. You don't promise a life without trouble. You never said I'd be free from pain or confusion, but you did promise to be with me. And somehow that's enough. Because peace isn't the absence of conflict. It's the presence of the Comforter. And tonight I declare my rest comes from you. Not because I've figured everything out, but because I've placed everything in your hands. Even if there's noise outside, if you are here, I can sleep. Even if tomorrow holds uncertainty, if you go before me, I can breathe. Even if I feel fragile, if you are my strength, I can rest. You are the shepherd who makes me lie down in green pastures, not because the wolves disappear, but because you stand watch while I sleep, because you are my defender, my peace, my security. Tonight, I let go of the belief that I need everything to be perfect in order to rest. I let go of the illusion that I have to fix every problem before I can find peace. Instead, I anchor myself in your presence. Let your spirit quiet my soul. Let your love wrap around every anxious thought. Let your truth be louder than my fears. I choose to lie down in faith, not fear. To rest in surrender, not control. To sleep in peace, not because the storm stopped, but because you are in the boat with me. Jesus, you are my rest. You are my stillness. You are my sanctuary in the chaos. So I won't wait for life to calm down. I'll rest now in you. Jesus, right now I ask for something sacred, that you would transform this room into more than just four walls. Make this space holy. Set it apart. Fill it with your peace. I want this place where I sleep to be more than a room. I want it to be a refuge, a place where fear can't enter, where anxiety has no voice, where the atmosphere itself speaks of your presence. Let every corner be touched by your spirit. Let the very air shift with your nearness. Let this room become a meeting place between heaven and earth, not because of anything I've done, but because of who you are. Sanctify this space. May your angels stand guard at every door and window. May this be a place where no darkness can hide, where peace flows like a river, where love hovers like light, where rest settles like a warm blanket over my body and soul. Jesus, turn this room into a spiritual sanctuary. Let it carry the fragrance of your presence. Let it feel like safety, like softness, like surrender. If there's anything in this space that doesn't honor you, anything heavy, anxious, chaotic, or distracting, I ask you to remove it now. Clear the atmosphere. Sweep it clean with your grace. Make room for divine peace. I want this to be more than just where I sleep. I want it to be where I encounter you, where my heart is quieted, where my spirit feels held, where I wake up refreshed not only in body but in faith. Let this room become a refuge of heaven. Let it echo with silent worship. Let the shadows be pushed back by light. Let the night be holy. Because wherever you are, Jesus, that place becomes sacred. And if you are here tonight, and I know you are, then this room is no longer ordinary. It is blessed, it is peaceful, it is yours, and so am I. Jesus. Tonight I ask for something simple but powerful, protection, not just from what I can see, but from everything I can't. Because I know there are battles I don't perceive. There are dangers that never reach me because you already stood in the way. There are invisible forces that try to plant fear, confusion, heaviness, and distraction. But they cannot cross the line of your presence. So I take refuge in you now, and I ask you to cover me completely. Protect my spirit from anything that tries to steal my peace, from every lie that doesn't align with your truth, from every spiritual attack sent to make me doubt, fear, or withdraw. Protect my mind from racing thoughts, obsessive worries, and mental exhaustion. Guard my thoughts tonight. Let every idea that doesn't come from you be silenced. Replace confusion with clarity. Let me fall asleep with a calm mind anchored in your promises. Protect my emotions from sorrow I've carried too long, from anger that tries to linger, from wounds that haven't healed yet. Wrap my heart in your gentleness. Let no bitterness, resentment, or discouragement follow me into this night. Protect my body from harm, sickness, restlessness, or anything trying to disrupt my physical peace. Let sleep come deeply and fully. Let my body recover, heal, and be renewed under your watchful care. And above all, protect my soul, that deepest part of me that longs for you. Let nothing separate me from your love. Let no fear enter the place where you dwell within me. Jesus, I ask you to surround this space with your light. Place angels at every side. Let my room be a fortress, not of walls, but of glory. I refuse to sleep under fear. I choose to sleep under grace. I choose to rest not because I am unaware, but because I trust that you are fully aware and fully in control. So tonight I lay down in peace, fully covered, fully protected, and fully yours. Jesus, there's something sacred about going to sleep with hope. Not because I feel it rushing through me, but because I choose it, even quietly, even when the evidence around me feels thin. Tonight I may not see change, I may not feel different, but I still believe you're doing something deep in me, something quiet, something hidden, something holy. I trust that I will wake up renewed, not because I earned it, but because I surrendered, because I placed my soul in your hands, and nothing you hold stays the same. Even now, while I breathe slower and thoughts fade, you are working in places I can't reach. You're healing what I didn't know was broken. You're refreshing what was tired. You're breathing over dry places with new life. You're stirring fresh strength where only weakness remained. This is the miracle of rest in you, that sleep isn't just recovery, it's restoration. So while my eyes are closed, your spirit is still moving. You're rewiring what needs peace. You're uprooting what no longer serves me. You're planting seeds of purpose even in the soil of silence. And I trust that when morning comes, I won't just be awake. I'll be renewed. Maybe not dramatically, maybe not with all the answers, but something will be different. Because every time I surrender to you, transformation begins. So even if I don't see it now, even if I don't feel it right away, I choose to believe something new is being born in me tonight. New strength, new grace, new peace, new clarity, new hunger for your presence. Jesus, thank you for never wasting a night surrendered to you. Let this one be filled with more than dreams. Let it be filled with renewal. I won't fear tomorrow because you're already in it, and I won't carry today into the morning because tonight I've let it all go. If you've ever felt something so deep that words couldn't express it, write in the comments, Jesus, thank you for understanding my silence. Because even what you can't explain, he already knows. Jesus, thank you for listening, not just to what I say, but to what I can't say. There are emotions tonight that I don't fully understand. Feelings I tried to name but couldn't. Thoughts that came and went like waves. Too fast, too heavy, too layered to untangle. And yet, you understood them all. You heard the ache in my silence. You read the story behind my sighs. You caught every tear that didn't fall. That's what I love about you. I don't need perfect words. I don't need eloquent prayers. I don't even need to speak out loud. You understand my spirit when my mouth stays quiet, when I'm too tired to explain, when I don't know where to begin, when the only thing I can offer is stillness. You receive it. You interpret silence as surrender. You see the longing behind my closed eyes. You respond to the posture of my heart, not the polish of my words. And that brings me so much peace, because there have been moments when I felt like I had nothing to offer, like prayer had to be formal, well-spoken, emotional. But you remind me, what you want most is truth. And sometimes the truest thing I can offer is presence, just showing up, just being with you, just saying, here I am, even if I don't know what to say. Jesus, thank you for being the kind of God who doesn't wait for perfection, but leans in at the sound of silence. Let me rest tonight in that truth. Let me stop striving for the right prayer and simply let my heart speak in its own way, through breath, through stillness, through quiet communion. You understand me better than I understand myself, and that alone is healing. So tonight I don't force words. I just rest in the safety of being known, completely and lovingly. Jesus. As I surrender to rest, there's one thing I ask above all. Don't let go of me. Even while I sleep, when I'm unaware, when my defenses are down, when I can no longer control or respond, stay close. I don't want your presence to leave just because I stop speaking. I don't want to drift into unconsciousness and lose the awareness of you. I want to fall asleep in your arms. I want every breath I take in the night to be covered by your peace, every dream to be protected by your love, every moment to remain under the shadow of your wings. Let your hand guide me through the hours of silence. Let it rest gently over my heart, steadying me, calming me, reminding my soul that even now, I am not alone. Because you are not a distant God who clocks out when the day ends. You are the shepherd who never sleeps, the father who watches through the night, the friend who doesn't leave when the lights go off. So hold me, Jesus, in the invisible moments, in the places no one else sees. in the softness of this night where fear tries to creep in and exhaustion tries to numb me. Don't let go, not of my mind, not of my heart, not of the healing you've begun in me today. If I toss and turn, stay with me. If I wake up suddenly, remind me you're near. If I dream, let those dreams be covered by your presence. Let even my subconscious find comfort in you. Wrap around me like a blanket of grace. Surround me like a shield of gentleness. And let this entire night be a continuation of our connection, not an interruption. Jesus, I don't need to understand everything you're doing while I sleep. I just need to know that you're here, watching, guiding, protecting, loving. So I release control once more. And with my final thoughts tonight, I simply say, don't let go. Not now, not ever. Jesus, I want to talk to you the way a child talks to someone they trust completely, without filters, without rehearsals, without fear of saying something wrong. Because I've realized, sometimes I overthink prayer. I wonder if I'm saying it right, if I'm being too casual or too formal, if I should say more or say less, if I need the right words to move your heart. But I'm beginning to see that what you want isn't perfection. It's honesty. You're not impressed by fancy phrases. You're not moved by carefully crafted lines. You're moved by the sound of a real heart opening up, even when it's messy, broken, unsure, or quiet. So teach me to pray freely, to speak with you the way I speak with someone I love, to pause when I need to cry if that's what's real, to laugh, to question, to listen. Teach me to stop performing, to stop worrying if I've prayed long enough or if I asked the right way. Remind me that prayer isn't a ritual, it's relationship. Help me unlearn the idea that prayer is only effective if it sounds holy. Let me remember that the holiest prayer might just be, help me, or thank you, or even, I don't know what to say, but I still want to be with you. Jesus, free me from the pressure to pray like anyone else. Let my voice with you be my own, imperfect but pure. When I don't know what to pray for, let me pray anyway. When I don't feel anything special, let me keep showing up. Because it's not about emotion, it's about connection. It's not about impressing you, it's about trusting you. Let prayer become my safe place, not my spiritual performance. Let it be where I bring every piece of who I am, without holding back. And when words run out, teach me to sit in silence with you and know that's still prayer too. So here I am, not with perfect phrases, but with a willing heart. Keep teaching me to pray, not with fear, but with freedom, Jesus. As I prepare to sleep, there's one area I don't want to leave unguarded, my dreams, because even in rest, the soul remains open. And I know that not every thought that enters the night is from you. Sometimes the enemy tries to sneak in through fear, distortion, or confusion, to disturb what should be peaceful, to whisper what you never said. But I declare tonight my sleep belongs to you. So I ask you to cover my dreams with your light. Let every thought, image, and impression be filtered through your presence. Let no darkness find its way into my subconscious. Let no voice speak unless it comes from heaven. Let no fear take root, no lie take shape, no shadow linger. Wrap my rest in divine protection. Let your angels surround this space and stand guard over my mind. Let your spirit fill the atmosphere with such peace that even in my dreams I walk with you. Let me dream of hope. Let me dream of healing. Let me dream of freedom and purpose. Let even my sleep be a continuation of what you're doing in my waking life. If you want to speak through dreams tonight, I'm listening. If you want to comfort, I'm open. If you want to show me something, a promise, a glimpse, a truth, I welcome it. But if the enemy tries to enter, I declare now, he has no access, no influence, no authority. Your light exposes and removes all darkness. Your name is stronger than every attack. Your presence is my shield, even in the hours when I don't have the strength to fight. Jesus, protect me in body, spirit, and thought. Let this night be filled with divine peace and uninterrupted rest. Let me wake up not only restored but untouched by anything that didn't come from you. Tonight, I fall asleep in light, and light will keep watch until the morning. Jesus, something deep inside me knows. This is not just another night. This is sacred. This is a moment of decision, of surrender, of encounter. And even if I can't see it with my eyes, I feel it in my spirit. Something is shifting, not because the circumstances changed yet, not because I suddenly have all the answers, but because something inside me has aligned my heart with your will, my spirit with your truth, my future with your hands. So I speak it out in faith. This night is a turning point, the kind of night that heaven marks, the kind of night where seeds of transformation are planted, where old things lose power and new things begin to stir. I'm not leaving this time with you the same way I came, because I've chosen to believe again. I've chosen to release what I held too tightly. I've chosen to open my soul fully to you, no filters, no hesitation, and you never ignore that kind of surrender. So even if nothing looks different tomorrow morning, something will be different in me. The fear that used to control me is weakening. The heaviness that followed me for too long is lifting. The anxiety that used to own my nights is being replaced by peace, and the dreams I buried are beginning to breathe again. Jesus, thank you for meeting me here, for hearing every unspoken word, for healing wounds I thought were too deep, for realigning things within me that I didn't even realize were off. You are always working in the unseen, and I believe that right now, while the world sleeps, you are orchestrating something new on my behalf. So I don't just hope for change, I declare it, in your name, by your authority, through your spirit. This night is a line in the sand, a shift in the atmosphere, a beginning of something I'll look back on one day and say, that was the night everything started to change. If this prayer became your quiet place with Jesus tonight, write in the comments, this was more than a prayer, it was a moment with Him. Let your testimony seal what God just did in your heart. Jesus, thank you for not rushing me, for staying through every word, every silence, every breath, for receiving this conversation not as a routine, but as relationship. This wasn't just a way to end the day, it was the way to bring my soul back to center, back to peace, back to you. I didn't need loud music or bright lights to feel your presence, just stillness and honesty and a heart willing to draw near. And now as I close my eyes, I do so with the quiet confidence that I've been with you. Not figuratively, truly. You were here, you listened, you answered. You touched places no one else could reach. And I know I'm leaving this moment lighter, calmer, fuller, because I spent time in the presence of my Savior. Thank you for being the kind of God who invites real conversation, who listens without rushing, who loves without condition, who stays when others walk away. This was more than prayer. It was communion. And even when I fall asleep, I believe this connection continues, because you're not limited by my consciousness. You dwell in my spirit. So tonight I won't fall asleep thinking about my problems. I'll fall asleep remembering that I've been in the presence of perfect peace. Let this be the rhythm of my life, not just in the quiet moments, but in every moment. not just when I need something, but when I simply want to be with you. You are the safest place I know, and now I rest in that safety, grateful, covered, and completely seen. Thank you, Jesus, for this eternal conversation. I fall asleep now, with my heart at rest and my spirit still listening.